Good evening, race fans, and welcome back to the FEG PC NASCAR Oval Series. Tonight, we're going out to Phoenix Raceway for another hot desert race. I'm your host, James East, bringing the action 1080p, 60 frames a second, as drivers are making their way out onto the grid. Let's go ahead and run it through and see where everybody's at. Starting on pole, Stephen Page in the number 1 machine. Christopher McCullough will be starting second here tonight. Eric Parks starting third. We've got John Ballou starting fourth. Jay Dargett, the fan favorite, starting fifth. Kenneth McCullough Jr. starting sixth. Andrew Lewis starts seventh. Dalton McKinney starting eighth. Chad Ross starting ninth. Marcus Frickeneck starts 10th. Mark Jenkins starts 11th. We've got Adam Shane, starting 12th here tonight. Cycling back to Justin McMahon starts 13th. Jeffrey Radke 14th. James Kaufman starting 15th. Wally Babb starting 16th. Jim Westerfield starts 17th. Tyler Millette starting 18th. Mike Wood starts 19th. William Price starts 20th. Taryn DeFelice starts 21st. Rylan Fascinato starting 22nd. Dylan Wallace starts 23rd. Then you've got Michael Brizin starting 24th. Cycling back even further, you got Mike Tillman starting 25th. Dylan Bryan starts 26th. John Mulligan 27th on the grid. Roger Hale starting 28th. Craig Lewis starts 29th. Dennis Block starting 30th. Casey Saltek starting 31st. Corey Stahl starts 32nd. Pete Woodrum starts 33rd. Steven Iyer starting 34th. You got Derek Fulton starting 35th. Matt Quick starting 36th. Cycling it back just one final time. Christopher Carter starts 37th. Jeffrey Ford 38th on the grid. Jordan Darnell starts 39th. And Richard Jones starts 40th. A massive field here tonight at Phoenix as we get ready to run our drivers out. Let us know where you're from, who you're cheering for. As our drivers will have this pulled up on a separate screen, monitor, possibly somebody in their house yelling at them from across the room, saying all the nice things the broadcaster is saying. Got a few drivers looked like they had problems. Taking a quick tow back to pit road. Oh, we get an update. The server will be restarting as we have some sort of issue out on track. So we're going to roll back to our starting soon screen. Don't go there, folks. We'll be back with a slight delay as we get the new server up, and we'll be right back. All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Had a bit of a brief rain delay there, but it looks like we've got everybody back out on track, getting the lobby filled back up. Joining me here today, I've got Roger Hale, the Virginia's native, in the number 9 machine. Roger, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Roger, this has been something we've been trying to get working for the last couple weeks. I know you've got fans out there listening in, but tell me, before we get ready for qualifying, what's the plan here tonight in the hot Arizona sun?
Plan is to save tires, stay out of the way, and see if I can finish on the lead lap.
Now, Roger, with the brief virtual rain delay we had here today, you think that's going to shake some feathers up and maybe see things change a little bit in qualifying?
Yeah, I think we'll have a little bit more nerve on qualifying, but we'll see how that works out.
Well, awesome. We're rooting for you. And, Roger, I know you got fans tuning in here today. Who would you like to give a shout-out to that's cheering you on that number 9 machine?
Well, I'd like to give a shout out to my mama, and hopefully we got some guys over at the Fanny's Diner watching tonight, and my guys over at Joka Graphics with this beautiful paint scheme that I asked for.
Well, awesome, Roger. We'll let you get out there. We know qualifying's about to get underway, but thank you so much for your time, and we wish you the best of luck here tonight.
Thank you, sir. Have a good day.
You as well. That was Roger Hale in the number 9 machine. He's been getting a whole lot of support from the fans the last couple weeks, and hoping to see him do well in that number 9 machine. He's getting ready to roll out. I believe he's going to be in a Toyota Tundra here tonight, as lone qualifying currently underway, waiting for some drivers to go out on track. So far, not seeing anybody out on track. I wonder if there's a way he was able to punch it in and use the qualifying times from just earlier to start the grid. Going to be interesting to see. Not often you see a virtual rain delay come out, as right now, not a single driver going out for qualifying. I take it back. Looks like Sawtech's going to go out. I believe I know what the problem here may be. So while we have a moment, drivers go down qualifying with the new server going up. We're not going to be able to watch qualifying live, but I can call it live, a live timing tower just about as good as I can in an actual race. Again, let us know who you're cheering from, where they're from. We've got David Solomon here. He's cheering on the number 66 of Corey. And we've also got Sheila Millette. She's cheering on Tyler Millette in the number 27 machine. As we take a peek to see where Corey may be out on track, he's currently qualified 23rd, number 66 Chevrolet with a 28.2. Let's see if he can improve on that as Justin McMahon in the top spot. Keep an eye on Stephen Page, though. He's feeling a little bit robbed here as he did qualify in the top spot in the first session, but right now he's going to be sitting second behind Justin McMahon with almost identical lap times. Both drivers with 27.42s. Showing 0.00 seconds difference between the number 20 of Justin McMahon and Stephen Page, the number 1 machine. So Page going to be driving like a man possessed tonight. As we also check in on Tyler Millette to see where he may be. He is currently qualified 25th in the Ford F-150, just behind Dylan Wallace and ahead of Craig Lewis. So we've got just a few more drivers going out there for qualifying. I think I know who we're going to talk to next here, ladies and gentlemen. If I can get it to work here. Trying to get Stephen Page up in the booth. He'd be a fun one to talk to right now. So we're going to grab really quickly Stephen Page, number 1 machine. Stephen, You got a copy?
Gotcha.
Steven, we know you kind of got robbed. You qualified in the top spot in that first session. The rain delay has everybody going out. Looks like you're going to be starting third right now. Still up there in the front inside line. Is that, I know it's not the same as the top spot. Is that going to be close enough for you to get things started?
I hope so. I think that we got the Page lawn care Chevy Silverado dialed in. The track's a little hotter now, but I think we'll be able to get it done. Just manage our tires and see if we can get up to front.
Now, Steven, that hot track, the Arizona sun, do you think that's going to make things a little bit looser and a little bit more caution-filled here today?
Probably so, but I hope not.
Awesome. Well, Steven, we hope at the very least you're out in front of it. We'll let you get back out there. I know you got to get back in the truck here for the race, but we wish you the best of luck, my friend.
All right, thank you, James.
Thank you, sir. That was Stephen Page, number 1 machine, qualified in the top spot in the first session. Then we had the rain delay, and he'll be starting third. So not too terribly disappointed, all things considered. And we've got a whole new lineup to go through here, ladies and gentlemen. Starting in the top spot, Marcus Frickenek in the number 13 machine. Justin McMahon starts second. Stephen Page starting third. John Mulligan will be fourth on the grid. Kenneth McCall Jr. starts fifth. Andrew Lewis starts sixth. Then let's see who we've got next. It's going to be Adam Shane starts 7th. John Ballou starting 8th. Eric Park starts 9th. Derek Fulton starting 10th. Mark Jenkins starts 11th. Casey Solatek starting 12th. Cycling it back to Dalton McKinney starts 13th. Dylan Bryant 14th. Jeffrey Radke starts 15th. Mike Tilgman 16th on the grid. Dennis Blau starts 17th. Chad Ross starts 18th. William K. Price starts 19th. Jay Dargert, the fan favorite, starting 20th. Christopher McCullough starting 21st. Roger Hale starting 22nd. The driver we just interviewed early on in the intermission. Then we've got Mike Wood starting 23rd. Christopher Carter starting 24th here today. Wally Babb will be starting 25th. Corey Stahl 26th. Dylan Wallace starts 27th. Tyler Millette starting 28th. Greg Lewis starting 29th. Michael Brisson starts 30th. Taryn Defali starts 31st. Rylan Fascinato starting 32nd. Pete Woodrum starts 33rd. Stephen Iyer starts 34th. Jordan Darnell starting 35th on the grid with Matt Quick starting 36th. We've got Jim Westerfield starting 37th. Richard Jones starting 39th. James Kaufman starting 40th. And you may notice we skipped the 38th spot. That's me, James East, and the 355 that will not be making it out on track as I have incorrectly joined the session. Now that we're back in the groove, getting things started and ready to rock and roll again, thank you all so much for those across the world that tune in week in every week, supporting your favorite drivers, maybe even your favorite broadcaster, as well as your favorite league. Always good to have our friends from all across the world. As this will be our second attempt at the night. So we're going to roll them out with Frickenek, McMahon, the front row, Page and Mulligan, your second row, McCullough and Lewis, your third row. 135 laps here, ladies and gentlemen, under the hot Arizona sun. Pace car is in. And let's get ready to start the party off here at the FEG PC.net Monday NASCAR Oval Series. A very long warm-up lap as away they go. Frickenek sends it down the inside into the dogleg. That dogleg line is open for our drivers here tonight. And Frickenek holds on to an early lead. Stephen Page, the previous pole setter, drops down to 4th. Now Page is a wily veteran here at FEG and PC. I'd assume that he's going to maybe take it a little bit easy and try and keep the tires underneath him. As he said, the track's gotten a lot hotter for these guys, so it's going to be a little bit tougher to hold on to it here. As John Mulligan's already moved up 2 spots in the number 6 Chevrolet. He's just about side by side with McMahon, who's working the outside groove. Mulligan sends it in deep on the inside line. McMahon trying to work in the high groove. As right behind them is Page, Ballou, McCullough, Lewis, Shane, Parks, Jenkins, all in the top 10. As it looks like Mulligan's going to get well and clear to take over second place, while Frickenek pulls a half-second advantage over the rest of the field. Biking a little bit further back to Mark Jenkins. This will be the battle for 10th. As right as we do that, looks like Sawtech got into him. And what a massive save from Sawtech, number 16 machine. Well done. Had a little bit of contact there, but things aren't in the clear yet as everybody's swerving around the driver trying to get back up to speed. So glad we caught that one live, as that was almost very bad very quickly, but we're going to avoid bringing out the first caution of the night. And you know who's going to be most happy is Frickenek out front, right behind Sawtech, Jay Darger, Christopher McCullough. 2 very experienced drivers battling, trying to get up inside the top 10 after not having the start they were looking for. Going a little bit further up in the field, you've got Lewis, Albie, Adam Shane linked up. But let's go even further. The battle for third is about to get out of hand. Justin McMahon shows in third. Right behind him, John Ballou, Stephen Page. We've got Dustin Carruthers cheering on John Mulligan, currently third in that number 20 machine. So this is where things get exciting. It's the dog leg. That section of apron kind of in the turn 1 area is open for drivers to cut through. And where it gets doubly exciting is when those drivers start to return out on track and just hoping that that line is clear. Now, it is their responsibility to make a pass cleanly to facilitate that pass, but sometimes things happen when you've got 3, 4, 5 trucks wrestling hard for the same a little bit of track real estate. As you watch, John Ballou has a massive run, the number 9 machine. Looks like McMahon's going to go push wide, but holding on to it with a little bit more momentum is Justin McMahon, keeping John Ballou right behind. Stephen Page, number 1 machine, he sits 5th. Again, I'm wagering that Page is taking it easy on the tires. You know, we've had some relatively clean runs in the past, the season opener. As McMahon, Ballou still going at it for that 3rd place spot. Ballou is up. Ooh, if he can make it stick, he's up 5 spots. And this is quite a heated battle for 3rd. I would, again, kind of guess here, Page and McCullough running 5th and 6th are watching this heated battle and just kind of taking it easy and not wanting to risk truck here to get involved in this. Look at this, Mulligan starting to gain some ground on Frickenek, your race leader. It was very briefly down to about 0.3 of a second. Frickenek has been on fire early on, qualified on pole, and looks to try and keep it there, leading all 12 laps thus far. As we go further back in the field, quite a heated battle for 18th. That's Christopher McCullough, number 5 machine, trying to defend against Casey Sawtek, who we saw with that absolutely massive save early on. In tow as well as Michael Brisson, Wally Babb, Dylan Wallace. That'll be the battle all the way back to 22nd. Great racing all across the track here early on. As going up front, looks like Chad Ross in the 38 Special machine making a move on Dalton McKinney's number 46 Chevrolet. The two Chevy drivers side by side. But Ross will have the preferred line at the end of this short straightaway. McKinney seems to hold on to it, carrying a little bit more speed, but look at Ross diving way down the dog leg to make that track as short as humanly possible. Ross, McKinney still side by side. Right behind them is Jeffrey Radke running 15th on track, and that number 51 machine. If we go a little bit further up in the field, Eric Parks, Derek Fulton having a battle just inside the top 10. And up front, it looks like Frickenek has been able to gain a little bit more ground. That number 13 machine, he's now 8/10 ahead of John Mulligan in second, but already will he have traffic to contend with. That, I believe, will be the 56 machine of Richard Jones. Jones goes high to let the race leader by as quickly as he can to facilitate that pass. And if we can stay green, that is a sign of things to come, as the race leaders will have to go diving through traffic here to make those passes as quickly as he can. James Kaufman looks like he's going to get out on track very late. He's going to be about 16 laps down, but still going to get out there, try and salvage some points, so well done to him. Derek Fulton, look at him going 3 wide through the dog leg. How's this going to shape out? Looks like Fulton trying to fight tooth and nail with Eric Parks. This is the battle for 9th. We touched on this just a little while ago, how important it is for these drivers to get up inside the top 10 and score as many points as they possibly can. Was that Jenkins? No, that was Eric Parks getting tossed around in the 73 machine, backed by Smith & Wesson and the Ford F-150. We've seen a couple of massive saves as you're on board with Eric Parks, chasing down Dylan Bryant, Mark Jenkins. And that's the great part about racing out here on a Monday night. Doesn't matter where you're out on track, there are good battles to be had. As we are about to have another battle for 4th, Justin McMahon, Stephen Page, really leaning on each other here. On board with the McMahon, just clicking off laps, trying to stay out of striking distance of Stephen Page's number 1 machine. Very impressed with these drivers. We went 22 laps under green flag conditions so far. They're starting to get a little bit of rubber inside the track. As Marcus Frickenek still leads the field around, it's Frickenek, Mulligan. Below, McMahon, Page, your top 5. Let's see who our mid-pack heroes may be right now. Current hard charger, I believe, is going to be Michael Brisson in the number 71 machine. He qualified 30th here today in Arizona, has already worked his way up to 22nd, so good to see him making some strides and making things happen. As now the battle for second underway. John Ballou, who's up 5 spots, trying to put some work in against John Mulligan's fluorescent, almost neon yellow number 6 Chevrolet. And speaking of Chevrolet, they're currently running 1st through 6th on track right now. Adam Shane, our fastest Ford, he's running 7th at the 79. Derek Fulton in our fastest Toyota, he's 9th on track. We're going to have a caution interrupting party, ladies and gentlemen. James Kaufman shows involved in an incident. And it looks like Pete Woodrum may be as well. But watch Kaufman in the bright yellow machine. Oh, just comes up and gets absolutely launched. Kaufman goes for a ride. And Woodrum also gets involved in the aftermath. There's Matt Quick with the Angry Cats and Tyler Millette making their way by the wounded number 29 machine. And we are going to have problems early on. And that will be our first caution of the night, 28 laps in. As it looks like just about everybody comes down pit road. But you know who's not? Roger Hale, the number 9 machine. He wants that TV time. He wants a lap led here at Arizona. So he will stay out. I believe he will be the only driver that stays out. Get a request to show the replay once more. We're focused on James Kaufman and the bright yellow machine sponsored by Kaufman Farms. He's going to dive down the track. See if we can get a better angle there. There we go. From our FEG PC Skycam. So he's going to dive down the dog leg in the number 41 machine. And let's see where things go wrong here. Kaufman comes back up on track, doesn't realize, I would assume, that he's not clear of the number 33 machine. And around goes Kaufman. How did Matt Quick miss that one? Let's watch this, ladies and gentlemen. You're on board with Matt Quick. How's that for lucky? We'll go back live as Roger Hale starts in the top spot. And we will get ready to re-rack them here at Arizona. Pace car is in. And we get ready to go live one more time, ladies and gentlemen. The green flag flies as Roger Hale in the front row, surrounded by a lot of fast drivers. So we're going to go 3 wide early on. I believe that's Baloo all the way down the apron. The number 9 machine using that dogleg to its full advantage. And I think Hale's going to back out of it here as we have another caution to interrupt the party. I believe it may be Corey Stahl possibly involved in that one. We're going to take a look. Oh, Stahl just gets loose on his own. And sends it sliding around right at the start-finish line. So that'll be Corey Stahl with that one. Fairly certain he'll be getting the EOL. And just like that, second caution of the night. So again, we are throwing a very quick second caution. The full field wasn't able to even to get across the start-finish line there before we see the yellow flag fly once more. So we will try this once more with our drivers. See if we can't have a little bit better luck this time around. Roger Hale still stays out. He'll be on the front row with John Ballou. Now keep an eye out, as one of our fans let us know, sometimes when the entire field doesn't get across the start-finish line, the built-in iRacing officials can do some pretty weird things here, so hopefully that's not going to be the case tonight. But it is something we have seen in other leagues and something to be aware of. Now on my end up here in the booth, live timing looks good. The field looks correct as far as position goes. So let's get them re-racked once more. Try this again. Race car is in, then a long time to get ready for the green flag. The sun really coming down here. You can see it bouncing off those rear spoilers. And away they go once more. Can we keep it green as John Ballou leads the field down the dogleg? You can see the field scattering behind them, trying to make their way through as well. As man, what a packed house here in Arizona. Dylan Bryant moves up to 5th. He's up 9 spots. Right behind him, Roger Hale, Jeffrey Radke, John Mulligan, Andrew Lewis, all up in the mix. So it looks like we're going to get at least one lap here. We know cautions breed cautions, but hoping that's not going to be the case for the rest of the night. As Justin McMahon, Derek Fulton putting on a show in the battle for third, excuse me. As up front, Frickenek putting the pressure on John Ballou as well. So 2 different 2-truck battles inside the top 4. As we've got something going on here towards the back. Looks like the field had a checkup heavily. I think somebody's driving around wounded. That may be Mark Jenkins, the 99 machine. He was very, very slow here. We saw a lot of drivers able to quickly gain some positions. And we are going to have a caution as it shows. Oh, it's going to be bad. It's absolutely bad. It's terrible. It's a parking lot here at Phoenix, ladies and gentlemen. The 1 Mile Raceway still able to yield a big one. Sit back and relax as you are about to see an absolute pileup. The dogleg strikes again. Casey Sawatek, Jordan Damel, Tyler Millette, Taryn DeFelice, Christopher McCullough, Mike Woods, Corey Stahl, Steven Ayers, Pete Woodrum are all going to be in that one. That's Millette, who has the heavily check up from the crash in front of him. And here comes the boom as they just arc a break into each other. Total disregard for machinery or personal safety. Trying to see who that is in front of the 66 machine, Corey Stahl. Tough to read the number. I think it's the 27. No, it's not Tyler Millette. And they're still just scattered everywhere. So, ladies and gentlemen, I believe some of these drivers are going to be in for a long night here at Phoenix as we are on our 3rd caution, 40 laps in. Now I wonder if we're going to see much tire saving here, or if it's just going to be green flag all the way around. As Derek Fulton has problems in the 07 machine. Tries to get it fired back up. And several drivers getting the wave around. As that probably damaged about 10 good trucks. Gonna get you an update here of who's still on the lead lap as soon as some of the drivers cycle out of pit road. I believe it's gonna be about 26 drivers on pit road out of the 39 who entered here today. 2 drivers look to be out for the evening. James Kaufman and Christopher McCullough both appear to have sent it back to the virtual hauler. And about 10 drivers on pit road trying to get some repairs on those vehicles to get them banged back into shape. Now, no fast repairs here tonight. If you're new to iRacing, maybe cheering on a family member or haven't watched a sim race broadcasted before, sometimes you have these things called fast repairs, which is basically a get out of jail free card. If you face any damage, you drive down pit road, use that fast repair and get back out on track. And that's actually why we had that rain delay. Fast repairs were still active despite not being a part of the scheduled series rules. So I'm going to put up a new session very quickly, no fast repairs. Again, what that means for these drivers, if you face any sort of damage, be it from a wall, another driver, an errant squirrel going across the track, you have to go back to pit road and fix it the old-fashioned way with your virtual pit crew busting out the hammers and Flex Seal to get things sorted out. On the front row for this restart, it's Marcus Frickenig, John Below, and Justin McMahon, Dylan Bryant, your second row, John Mulligan, Stephen Page, your third row. Away we go once more at Phoenix. Who's going to get caught up in the dog leg this time? Top five, Frickenig, Ballou, McMahon, Mulligan, Bryant. Below, excuse me. And we're going to blame David Solomon for that one, saying he was hoping for a good green flag run. That will not be the case, as Andrew Lewis and Corey Stahl are involved in an incident. Well, let's bust it back to our FEG PC instant replay. We're watching Stahl in the 66 machine, and speaking of Stahl, that's what the outside line did. Was that possibly Andrew Lewis we saw careening around? No, it wasn't Lewis. It showed as the number 2 machine, but I'm not seeing him on my crash report. The problem we're running into tonight is some of the drivers don't have the matching numbers on the side of their truck to coincide with the transponder. Makes it a little bit interesting for me up in the booth, and doubly so for the fans at home, because we have to sometimes decipher who is who. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is what we call the commentator's curse, or in this case, the spectator's curse. Where you say one thing, and then immediately, without hesitation, the opposite happens. But thanks to tonight, we get to catch that live with all of our friends from across the world. Going to be interesting to see how this plays into tire strategy. Some guys may have loaded up on tires, but looking to be most people inside the top 3 haven't taken tires. It looks like Mulligan did on lap 27. So he may have some of the freshest Goodyears out on track, but if we don't have any green flag runs, it's going to be tough to put those tires to use. Let's try once more. Frickenek and below the front row. McMahon, Mulligan on row 2 here. Green flag flies, away we go. And the night of the dogleg keeps continuing. We're going to focus the camera on Mulligan, the number 6 machine. As normally it's been about mid-pack or so where the shenanigans are afoot going through the dogleg. And it seems like we're going to at least get a lap here as we get a little bit of 2-wide action. In a very heated battle inside the top 10. That's Dylan Bryan, the number 18 machine, just ahead of Dalton McKinney, as well as Chad Ross. Ross going to try and make a move on the outside line, accompanied by Jeffrey Radke in the 51 machine. Ross looks like he's going to be able to get clear here. Radke looks to the inside line against McKinney. Got to be careful not to come too far up track in that dogleg, as that's what we've seen bring out several cautions here so far tonight. And it looks like Jay Dargert making some moves as well. The number 57 machine, he's up inside the top 10 after a rough qualifying start of 20th tonight. As you can see, that 57 machine, a little battle worn on the right side. He's not without incident tonight either, but putting his head down to charge back forward. Going back up front, Justin McMahon, John Mulligan. Running third and fourth, two drivers that haven't been able to get away from each other so far tonight. As we have to go a little bit further back for more dogleg action. What we need is a camera crew just to stand there all night. The nice static camera pointed at the future carnage. As we do get a little bit further into the run, this is where you can see drivers starting to tighten up, a little bit tougher to make these trucks turn in and stick where they want. And the lap times will rapidly fall off. A good example, your race leader, Marcus Frickenek, already 4/10 off his fastest lap of the race. As we don't believe he took tires. He may have taken rights with only a 10.2 second pit stop. And that was on lap 27. As more action out on track, a three-way battle for 13th. Kenneth McCullough Jr., Rylan Fascinato, Derek Fulton, all in the mix. Fulton going way down low against both Fascinato as well as McCullough. He's trying to make it a 2-for-1 pass here, but McCullough's going to answer on the outside line. No, look at that. Derek Fulton's going to get the spot after all. That was a very clean move, and look at this as well. Jim Westerfield in the 35 machine is up 26 positions so far here tonight. Not sure what's gotten into Westerfield, but he is putting the hammer down just ahead of Dylan Wallace. Wallace going to slide up the inside line. I don't think Wallace even has numbers on that truck. But we may have problems going on. Tilkman showing involved in an incident. Not seeing the caution yet. And I think Tilkman may have crashed into pit road here. It showed as a crash, but look at that. His front left wheel, I believe, has been removed from the race truck. So Tilkman goes back to pit road as quickly as he can to avoid the caution coming out. And Frickenek has got to be ecstatic here as he is a full second up over second place John Ballou, Justin McMahon, John Mulligan, Stephen Page rounding out the top 5. And here comes more traffic for Frickenek. That was Richard Jones. Up next, I believe, is going to be Casey Sawatech. And oh man, is that number 13 machine absolutely flying out on track. Even with traffic, he clicked off a 28 point, that one was a 29.23, so he lost about a half second compared to the rest of the field. And that's going to allow John Ballou to try and make some strides. There's John Ballou right in tow of your race leader. Diving way down the apron, but doesn't look like he's going to gain any time on Friggenick, who stays on the smoother section of Raceway. Now later on the run, you may actually see drivers losing time in the dogleg as the trucks get a little bit unsettled, a little bit out of shape. As Friggenick extends his gap once more to 6/10 over the second place driver of John Below. Jay Dargett, the fan favorite, finds himself involved in a battle. He's got Dylan Wall. He's got a lot of people right in front of him, traffic included. Dargett looks to the inside line to try and slice through the field. He's currently running 11th on track, about 4/10 behind Dylan Wallace, but he's going to worry about Derek Fulton, the 07 Canadian, who is right on the back bumper of Dargett. A lot of traffic out here tonight. Not quite the halfway mark so far this evening, as maybe things starting to clean up a little bit. As I say that, Fulton leans on Dargett just ever so slightly. Both drivers able to hold on to it. Now last week it was John Below who picked up the win ahead of Jeffrey Radke and Dylan Bryant. If you weren't here, you missed it. Oh, I missed it. That's Jay Dargett. Oh no, Dargett with another big crash. The field should be checking up and isn't. Watching Dargett's point of view, he's just behind Derek Fulton, the 07 machine. Oh, just tags the outside wall. That's what we were talking about. The truck's tightening up. Around goes Dargett instead of... Oh, Jay should have locked up the brakes there, trying to roll out of the race line. And other drivers who should have been slowing down just absolutely blast into Dargett. The only positive thing out of that is Jay gets pointed right back in the right direction, but the number 57 machine is going to be heavily wounded. While we do have a caution, we're going to run a quick commercial break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back as we pass the halfway mark of tonight's main event. Everyone is out. And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. We get them gridded back up, double file. It's going to be Roger Hale, Marcus Frignick, the front row, Stephen Page, John Mulligan, your second row, Derek Fulton, and I believe it's going to be John Below, your third row. And while I'll have you here, after hopefully everybody's grabbed a water, getting back into the action, I'd like to thank you all sincerely for helping us reach over 2,000 subscribers on the Team Goon Squad broadcasting channel here on YouTube. It's been a fantastic journey. We couldn't do it without you guys. And again, thank you all so much, everybody who's supported the stream since we started this party. And sincerely, couldn't do it without you guys. And as we get them going again after our fifth caution of the night, Marcus Frignick, Roger Hale, giving it everything they've got. Hale goes way down low. And things are getting quite heated from about third place back. There's John Ballou fighting for dear life just behind. I believe that's going to be Mulligan getting the spot. And we're going to have problems once more as somebody's going flying. That is the number 20 of Justin McMahon. And it's a caution fest here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. 6 cautions, 71 laps in. Let's see what happens to McMahon, who is running so strong out here tonight. He is in the green and black number 20 on the bottom left-hand side of your screen. Oh, who was that got into him? Somebody got a hearty bump trap from, I believe, Chad Ross. Gave somebody the old bump. And then McMahon had nowhere to go, couldn't have even seen it coming. And gets absolutely destroyed here. So McMahon will limp it straight back to the virtual hauler. He is most likely done and out of this event. And we've still got 64 laps. Thank you to the kind words tonight from our fans. We appreciate you guys sincerely. We see you out here each and every week, and we definitely notice up here in the broadcast booth as well as the drivers out on track who are here cheering them on. Some fans out here just enjoying the show and cheering on everybody, and some fans have their favorite drivers in mind, but I can promise you, ladies and gentlemen, these guys are going to go back and watch it if they're not already having it pulled up on a different monitor, and they will see that live chat just as we do now, and you will be eternally in their grace. 6th caution of the night, 72 laps in. Oh, we've got somebody joining us here in the infield care center. We've got Jay Darger, the number 57 machine, joining us. Jay, you got a copy?
Yes, sir, I do. How are you, man?
I'm doing well. I can't complain. But, Jay, tell me, what on earth happened out there to see you pinballing across the walls like that? Very uncharacteristic.
Yeah, Fulton had just got by me. I got a little loose coming off on the backside of him, clipped the wall, went to the inside, tried to gather it up, and ended up facing backwards. And I attempted to get out of everybody's way as best I could and got plowed by somebody and probably ruined his race as well.
Yeah, the old Arco brakes will get you out there, Jay. Now, tell me what it's like behind the wheel. I know tire strategy kind of out the window entirely. Are drivers worried that the trucks are going to tighten up, or is this going to be one of those nights where looseness is what's going to bite a bunch of guys?
Actually, I believe 2 tire runs are going to be pretty good. You just got to mind the first couple laps after it, but it seems to be coming back into play with the cautions in between full runs. So I don't know if we're going to get a full 47 lap run in or not, but so I believe 2 tires will be fine. Those that have any tires left over and take 4 at the end are going to be the guys with the advantage.
Awesome, Jay. Thank you for your insight. As always, a usual front runner up here at the FEG PC, and terribly sorry to see your race cut short, and hope to see you come back out strong next week.
Thanks, James. I do appreciate you, man.
Thank you, my friend, as always. That was Jay Garger, the number 57 machine, who unfortunately had to go home a little bit early after sustaining a whole lot of damage. And we will get ready to re-rack them for our 6th caution of the night. Pace car comes down pit road, Fricknick, and below the first row, Mulligan, Fulton, the 2nd row, Page and Hale, the 3rd row. Here we go, Frignick with another patented massive launch. Ooh, who's that? That's Don McKinney and Roger Hale side by side. Right behind them, Dylan Bryant, Jeffrey Radke. And, oh boy, we're gonna have another caution come out. As this time it shows Mark Jenkins involved. I don't think green flag runs are gonna be a concern here, ladies and gentlemen. So you're watching the 99 machine on the high line. 2 99 machines. An exact same move we saw earlier. Drivers not being careful, leaving the dog leg. Around goes Jenkins. A hard hit into Richard Jones as well. Not sure who the other 99 machine is, as he's not running the right transponder. And then once again, Matt Quick somehow gets through that. Watch that again from Mark Quick's point of view. He's been in it all night. Oh, Quick barely avoids that one. David Solomon disappointed that his favorite driver is out of the race. That is the number 66 machine, who we saw with the exploded motor. That will be Corey Stahl, currently showing 34th place, but he's already put it back in the hauler. This will be our 7th caution of the night as we roll under eye-pacing conditions. Our FEG PC drone camera putting in extra work. And speaking of, if you're looking for a new desktop with the sim enthusiast in mind, could be iRacing, could be DCS, Microsoft Flight Sim. Hey, you could be want to be an iRacing broadcaster and you need a custom-built solution? Check them out, FEGPC.net. Our title sponsor of this series. Thank you guys for coming on board. Great to have you. So this time the front row once again. Rickenick and below, Mulligan, Fulton, your 2nd row, Page and McKinney, your 3rd row. It looks like Frickenek and Below both took 4 tires on the lap 66 pit stop. So they will be good to go for quite a while here. Pace car is in. Frickenek's been getting spectacular launches all night long. Let's see what John Below can do in the number 8 machine. See if he can stay with that number 13. He'll be starting the inside line here. And here we go once more after the 7th caution. Frickenek with another patented start, absolutely on the gas quickly all the way down the dogleg to build up some forward momentum. John Below keeps him in his sight, is right behind him, Mulligan and Fulton. But boys, this is going to be a long night as another parking lot begins. Andrew Lewis, Craig Lewis, Stephen Ayers, Tyler Millette involved in another big crash. Let's see what happens. Keep an eye on the number 12 machine. It's going to be the dogleg getting them once more. Just coming up on track and absolutely drilling drivers, not checking their mirrors or listening to spotters, and looks like one of the teammates able to get through there. And drivers still trying to crash a little bit further towards the back. I almost wonder if we have the wrong paints pulled up. Surely they're not all running the same paint, right, ladies and gentlemen? So while we are under caution, we're going to talk about the importance of safety merges and you. The trick to surviving these longer format races, getting up towards the front and winning the top prize, got to be careful when you're making those moves. What we're seeing here tonight, ladies and gentlemen, drivers not checking the dogleg when they drift back up on track, and a whole lot of innocent drivers just getting absolutely collected here. See if anybody comes down. So our 8th caution of the night. Getting less than 10 laps per run. I don't think tire is going to be concerned. Marcus Frickenek becoming a whole shot expert tonight. Greg Lowen tuned in to pay homage to our unsung heroes for tonight's event, the virtual mechanics who are going to be busy overtime trying to get these machines ready for next week. I'll be curious to see who, if anyone, gets through this race with a 0 incident point. Next week we go to Atlanta Motor Speedway for 135 laps. Thankfully no dogleg. That may make things a little bit easier. Ace car is in. And we'll try and send him back out. Frickenick and below the front row. Still Mulligan, Fulton, your second row. McKinney and Page, your third row. Frickenick with another great launch. And John Mulligan's going to try and make a move as well as they send it in very deep inside the bus stop. Excuse me, not the bus stop, the dog leg. And we're watching John Mulligan trying to work the inside line against Ballou and Fulton. Looks like we will make it a lap, so that's a pretty solid start. But let's see who gets bit by the dog leg once more. As Frickenick holds about a 4/10 advantage over John Ballou. Ballou has not a lot of time. As he sees Derek Fulton, John Mulligan, Dalton McKinney, all pushing hard here. Stephen Page in the mix as well, and that number 1 machine currently showing in 5th place, but it's every man for himself through the dog leg. Very briefly breaking down single file. Drivers trying to get some semblance of a run put together. But still, we're going to have a little bit more action as here comes Dylan Bryant on the inside line, trying to make a move on Dalton McKinney's number 46 machine through turn 2. He's also got Jeffrey Radke hot in pursuit. As everybody trying to get into a bit of a line, try and tuck in behind a driver they think maybe just a little bit faster than them. Because what you're going to see here, if drivers start battling hard for a position, it's going to slow that pack down. And allow even more drivers to intermingle themselves in the party. Looks like McKinney doesn't want to let Bryant get away here. But right behind Bryant is Radke, also going to make a move. Radke's going to dive it in deep. And I'd imagine cut all the way down through the dog leg to see if he can work his way around McKinney's number 46 machine. That's exactly what Radke's going to do. Mindful of the blend line as we go 3 wide with Chad Ross in the middle. Ross backs out of it very wisely. As we've still got over 40 laps left of racing here. As your race leader Frickenick has pulled a 1 second gap of John Ballou. Ballou has 1.3 over Derek Fulton. And then it's Stephen Page, Dylan Bryant, Jeffrey Radke, who are in quite a battle here. Page, again, he was the pole setter before we had that iRacing rain delay. It's Dalton McKinney, Chad Ross still put on some more side-by-side action. McKinney on the inside line, Ross trying to carry some momentum on the straight. It looks like he's going to make it happen here. But McKinney wants to answer back at the inside line, returning the favor to the 38 of Chad Ross. And looks like Ross going to make it clear. He's got about 4/10 to try and catch up to Jeffrey Radke. and may be able to do it as Stephen Page and Dylan Bryant are in a heated battle for 5th. Bryant working the inside line, Page up high. We're going to see both drivers go down the dog leg. As now the field has rapidly dwindled. We've got about 23 drivers on the lead lap. I believe only 25 drivers. There we go. No, that's the race leader. Frickenik involved with traffic, bringing out the caution. Your race leader is going to have damage here in the 13 machine. And they're still crashing. Drivers not locking up the brakes. Other drivers coming flying through the field here. Oh, no. So watch Frickenik in the number 13 machine trying to decide where traffic's going to go. Frickenik goes high. Oh, what's going to happen here? Does Frickenik come down? Oh, it's a little bit of both. Let's back that one up a little bit further. That almost looked like both drivers could be a little bit at fault there. I'm going to watch this in the chopper cam. Traffic comes up. I think that may be on track. That's a tough one to call, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. If you have a damaged truck, you have a damaged truck. And Frickenik, who is an odds-on favorite to win this one here today, will have very heavy damage in the number 13 Chevrolet. Oh, just absolutely gut-wrenching for Frickenik. That looks a little... Now, Jones is a newer driver here, so he's trying to get things sorted out. You're on board with Richard Jones. This doesn't make the corner. Oh. I don't know what's hotter, ladies and gentlemen. The Arizona sun or possibly the driver chat here today. So now William Price stays out in the 34 machine. He'll be accompanied by Derek Fulton on the front row, John below, and John Mulligan your second row. Ross and McCullough your third row. Keep an eye on that third row, as that's a couple very fast drivers who usually played a little bit safe early on in the night and come back strong towards the end. I believe that's our 9th caution of the evening at lap 100. let's see what happens. Price and Fulton on the front row. Now, just an update, Frickenek did get back out on track to try and salvage an evening as we're 3 wide per second. Derek Fulton, John Mulligan side by side, making a little bit of quick work. I believe that was William Price in the 34 machine who opted to stay out on older tires. John Bilal has pulled a half-second advantage over Fulton. Fulton has Mulligan and Ross in hot pursuit. We've got a couple of laps green. Fulton trying to work the inside line against that's Mulligan on the inside line trying to work against Fulton. In a battle for second, it looks like Fulton has a little bit more momentum. But now this is going to set up Mulligan on the inside line. Right behind them, Ross and Bryant watching this battle unfold. This is allowing Bilal to extend his gap. He took 4 tires on lap 97. We believe Mulligan did as well. Fulton may be on a 2-tire strategy after that last stop. 30 laps left to go. Who's it going to be at the end? Who's going to be left here at the end? As we have whittled it down to 21 drivers on the lead lap. And still, Mulligan and Fulton put on a heated battle for our fans at home. Mulligan holding on. Looks like he's going to have that second place spot secured. Able to put those new tires to his advantage. Well, it looked like Fulton got a little bit loose there as well. As we continue watching the battle for second, Derek Fulton with slightly older tires, possibly only 2 tires, doing his best to keep Mulligan in his sights. As behind them, Chad Ross, Dylan Bryant, Kent McCall Jr. in the top 5, top 6, want to get back up there and maybe battle for the lead. Very impressed that Fulton's been able to hold on for so long, but let's go a little bit further back where Chad Ross trying to get around Dylan Bryant. Bryant made his pass just earlier this lap to move up to 4th. He's up 10 spots. Chad Ross up 13 positions. And 26 laps left to go, with John Bilal 2.3 seconds ahead of the rest of the field. He is hoping, he is praying for some sort of green flag run here. As look at this, Marcus Frickenek has worked his way back up to 7. So maybe the number 13 machine wasn't too heavily damaged, and he is going to be putting down some record-breaking lap times here, trying to slice through traffic as safely as he possibly can. Now, how many tires does Frickenick have in reserve? Because if we can get a couple more late race cautions and he still has the tires, he may be able to pull off something insane here. Really, the fact that he's back inside the top 10, quite an accomplishment all by itself. But I'm expecting to see some aggressiveness out of that number 13 Chevrolet as he sends it inside Kent McCullough Jr. And I can tell you right now, ladies and gentlemen, if Frickenick can get back inside the top 5, the top 3, I think the fans are going to absolutely lose it here tonight. We're going to pull up the live timing score on the left side of your screen for you, where it's John Bilal, Mulligan, Fulton, Bryant, Ross, your top 5, but keep an eye on Frickenick's number 13 machine, who was the race leader for the majority of this race, and he is going to be putting the hammer down here. Now, he looks to maybe only took, hard to tell, he came in twice under that caution to get repairs done, but we can't quite tell what tire strategy he's on. But Chad Ross on 38 machines, no slouch to finishing up top week in and week out. It's fairly rare to see a mistake out of that 38. So Frickenick's going to have to try something here as he sends it up the inside line. And just like that, Frickenick, your previous race leader, has worked his way back inside the top 5. Will this be the one time tonight we get a green flag run? As it's more likely, I'm not going to say likely, as drivers having to slice and dice through traffic here in Arizona. Now your race leader, John Bilal, about 4.5 seconds of 5th place Frickenick as it stands. But without a caution, without some extra tires, I think Frickenick's in trouble, but he's going to keep the pressure on Dylan Bryant's number 18 machine and try and pick him off if he's able to. As John Bilal has checked out, your race leader, he's 3.5 seconds ahead of 2nd place John Mulligan. But Mulligan, Fulton, Bryant running 2nd, 3rd, 4th are within a second of each other. So that's going to be exciting to see how that top 3 battle pans out. As we check back in on Mulligan, the bright green, yellow number 6 machine, 18 laps left to go. As it looks like Fulton's fallen back just ever so slightly. Again, we think Fulton's on a 2-tire stop from that lap 97. And oh my goodness, look at Dylan Bryant putting the bumper to work here, or at least trying to against Derek Fulton. Traffic may play a factor here. These guys don't have any time to slow down. They're all fighting tooth and nail for that final podium spot. Fulton's still about 4/10 behind Mulligan, but he's got Bryant and he's got Frickenick right behind him. Now, most of these drivers that run the top 5, top 10 every week are very familiar with each other. They know what they can get away with. They know how hard they can push. But with how much is on the line this season, I would not be surprised if we see that front bumper come into play later on tonight. As here comes Frickenick, he has joined the 3-car party in the battle for 3rd. Fulton, Bryant side by side. Frickenick looking for a way through here. He's going to hop down the inside line behind the number 18 machine, Dylan Bryant, going back up high to slot in behind Fulton. And it looks like Frickenek's going to take over the 4th place spot, cutting the nose off Dylan Bryant. Now, we did get information from Justin McMahon, John Bilal, Marcus Frickenek are teammates here, so might not see those two battle too hard if they somehow link back up. As Frickenek is now 4.5 seconds off the race leader. Without a caution, the chances of a race win for the number 13 machine are very rapidly dwindling, but he is going to be fighting tooth and nail to get up onto that final spot of the podium as he tries to work on Derek Fulton's 07 machine. Ooh, here we go. Both drivers losing a little bit of momentum down the stretch. Frickenek's going to have to line the inside line. Fulton trying to carry as much corner speed as he possibly can, as Dylan Bryant wants back in the mix as well. But this is where we've seen Frickenek make some moves before, all the way down the dogleg as we go 3 wide and narrowly avoiding any incident. Frickenek's taking over 3rd place. Now we're going to see what Bryant and Fulton have to say about it, as we are 12 laps left to go. And here we go. Derek Fulton, Marcus Frickenek, both involved in that incident. What happens? What happens? So keep an eye on Frickenek, number 13 machine. Fulton in the 7, Bryant in the 18 machine. As we all watch with bated breath here. Fulton dives to the inside line and then gets caught by Bryant ever so slightly, bumps into Frickenek, can't get it settled, then tags that back left quarter panel. And around they go. What was a spectacular charge, maybe for not, as I think all the fans are going to be gutted. But here with 10 laps left to go, who has the extra set of tires as our 10th caution with 10 laps left to go? So right now it's Sean Mulligan, Kenneth McCall Jr., Jim Westerfield, Christopher Carter, your top 4. They all stay out after their lap 97 pit stop. So there could very well be a dark horse here running 7th through back who has 4 tires left. Looks like John Bilal, your previous race leader, had a set left. He takes 4 tires and will be starting behind about 4 drivers on 25, 26 older tires. What a wild night. Now we do have 2 green-white checker attempts tonight, overtime conditions. So let's see if those are going to get used, because you're about to see a whole lot of aggressiveness out on track. So after that crash, Frickenek will be starting 12th. And where is Fulton? He'll be starting 17th. You've got 4 drivers up front on older tires, and behind them a fleet of talent with a much fresher set of Goodyears underneath them. The pace car comes in, which could be for the final time here tonight, as it'll be 7 laps left to go at the line. And away they go with Mulligan and McCullough on the front row. As already we've got drivers just absolutely sending it. And look at that, here comes John Bilal. And the number 8 machine already worked his way up to second after a 5th place start. He wants to get back out on front in case we do have that inevitable caution. And just dives it in so deep with those fresh tires. He will take over the race lead once more. And just in time, as we've got more carnage on track, shows Dalton McKinney involved in that one and several others. Well, at least it wasn't the dog leg. Oh, look at that. Ross gets loose, has to check up as drivers, looked like he saw a little bit of smoke ahead of him. So Ross checked up, and then things hit the old accordion effect rather quickly. I'm surprised not as much carnage as I thought there was going to be there. So this may put us into overtime conditions. I think John Bilal had the right idea there. Throw on some 4 fresh tires, absolutely hammer the start, and try and get that track position in case the caution came back out. He may have been guessing that caution was going to come out. As Derek Fulton has to limp it down towards the apron, I think he may be done. We're just so heavily wounded we can't roll anymore. And also, don't forget, Marcus Frickeneck somehow still out on track despite being involved in 2 big incidents. Now running 9th on the circuit. As drivers start to get their wave around. Curious to see if this is going to put us into green-white checker conditions. As we have the running order on the left side of your screen. I believe this will be our first green-white checker attempt of the evening. Yes, it will be. So this is green-white checker attempt number 1 of possibly 2. So what that means to maybe our new viewers at home that, again, just tuning in, supporting a friend, family member, or loved one that's watching the sim race and supporting them. If we can take the white flag under green, we will finish this race no matter what happens after that. But if we have the caution come out before the field crosses the white flag, we'll roll it into double overtime, a second green-white checker attempt. So it's going to be Bilal, Mulligan, your front row, McCullough, Westerfield, your second row, Carter and Bryant, your third row. Pace car is in. Will we take the white flag under green, or are we going to have another caution to throw things into a frenzy? Blau in the front row gets on the loud pedal and does so quickly. Mulligan's going to fight like tooth and nail to defend a whole field of drivers behind him. What an absolutely frantic raceway. Again, if John Blau can take the white flag, we will bring this thing home without another restart. As Mulligan fighting on to second, Kent McCullough Jr. in third. I think he may be out of tires as he has Dylan Bryant behind him with possibly some fresh rubber after that lap 125 caution. And just like that, the white flag is out. It is every man for himself here at Phoenix. John Blau runs up front. Matt Quick throws himself in as well. As Kent McCullough Jr. fighting tooth and nail against Dylan Bryant for the final podium spot. And the checkered flag will fly for John Blau. With John Mulligan getting second and Kenneth McCullough Jr. bringing home a third here today. Well done to these drivers. We're going to watch John Blau celebrate, and we'll be right back with some podium speeches from our top three drivers. John Blau burning it down in style here tonight. A great race from these top three drivers as we're going to start getting our guys queued up here in victory lane. Up first, when you get Kenneth McCullough Jr. in the 03 machine. Kenneth finishing third. It seemed like you were using your patented strategy of take it easy and let the crashes work themselves out, but at what point did you start to realize it's going to be a short run race tonight and can't save too much to be up there at the end?
Yeah, I was a little worried there, not coming in and taking tires. I thought we were setting ducks. Them couple of cautions there at the end saved me, that's for sure.
Now, Kenneth, did you take tires, I believe, not since lap 97? Was that a two-tire stop for you, or did you have any tires left behind the wall?
I had a set of 4 still set behind the wall. I started to come in and take them right there at the end, but I decided to stay out. It worked out.
Yeah, it absolutely did. Now, Kenneth, we saw the dogleg collect most drivers at one point tonight. What do you think? Well, we had so many incidents. Was it drivers just not knowing how to get back out on track? Was it hot tempers, hot track? What were you seeing from your point of view?
I don't know. I think the first part of the race went pretty good. It's just when you get down to 50, 60 laps, you got to make some moves to get there, and that's probably what caused most of it.
Well, it was a rough night for most, but not the 03 machine. Great job getting up there. Great job in qualifying. Just an all-around fantastic night. Ken, I know it's been a long night, so who'd you like to give a shout-out to that helped you get out here today?
I'd like to thank my teammates and you for doing the broadcast. Thank Jeff and thank all the family for tuning in and watching us.
Awesome. Always a good time talking to Kenneth, and hope to see you back up here next week.
Yes, sir. Have a good one.
You as well. That was Kenneth McCullough Jr. finishing third. Up next, we got John Mulligan finishing second in the number 6 machine. John, a very easy truck to spot out there in the fluorescent paint job.
Hey, thanks, James. Just a couple small local businesses we own here right outside of Charleston, West Virginia. Will Jewelry Alone, Treasure Hunt Stores.
Well, the fans were definitely out here tonight supporting you and the sponsors. John, it looked like kind of a roller coaster of an evening. Be up front, be mid-pack, and then back. What was it feeling like out there for you?
Well, it felt really good. I want to send a shout out to Chad, Jay, Eric, Steve, all the guys from Team 3. We had a couple really good practice sessions this week, and we felt really good about what we had done, and obviously it translated on the track tonight, so really, really happy with that.
Now, John, speaking of kind of the seat time that goes into this, were you guys practicing for long green flag runs and tire management? Were you guys trying to work on the short run speed, or what were you guys focusing on coming into tonight?
Well, we primarily focused on the long green flag runs to see exactly how many sets of tires we would need to secure for this Monday's race, but we did also practice some qualifying runs and some pit entries as well.
Well, John, it seemed like it worked out well for you guys. Up 2 spots from where you started, able to bring home a relatively clean race truck, all things considered from what we saw on track. And, again, very easy to spot. So, John, tell me more about those sponsors, friends, family, whoever else you want to give a quick shout-out to.
Hey, really quick, I already gave the shout-out to Team 3. I want to give another shout-out to all the guys over at Will Jewelry and Loan and the Treasure Hunt stores right here in South Charleston. Dustin, Ross, John Clark, Taylor, Laura, Crystal, Heath, all the guys over there. Really, thanks for the support. Love that, love that, love that.
Awesome, John. Congratulations, my friend, on a hard-fought second. Hope to see you back up here in the near future. And, again, congratulations tonight.
Hey, thanks again, James. You have a good evening.
You as well, John. That was John Mulligan finishing second. But up next, the man of the hour, John Below. Boy, I hope I said that right after 2 hours, John.
Yeah, man, you got it right, James.
Well,
Man,
sweet.
what a race. Can you believe it?
I can't. Up 7 spots, not the best qualifying you were looking for in the number 8 machine, but still able to bring it home on the final run. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you were kind of predicting a couple more late race cautions after we saw how hard you pushed on that first that caution right before the green-white checker.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, I was just trying to get away from everybody. I knew I had a set of tires laying because of our teammates, getting wrecked out of the race. Justin brought down us, 2 tires for us, and that really won us the race. So everything goes out to RTM and that last hoorah. I mean, that was unbelievable.
Now, John, were you expecting tonight to be a short run bloodbath, or what were you expecting tonight at Phoenix?
Well, after the first run, I was like, okay, we're going to get some green flag pit stops, maybe. And then I was like, oh, here come the cautions. And as the saying goes, cautions breed cautions. And then I knew it was just a short run race at that point.
Yeah, I think we've got a whole family tree now after that one. It was a rough night for a lot of people. Now, we saw you taking the dogleg pretty aggressively. How do you learn who to trust on who you can merge back out on track with, and who has that give and take that you can count on not to end your night early?
Yeah, I mean this in all due respect, James, but the safest spot on the racetrack is by yourself. So I try to get away from everybody at all times. I hated that Marcus got took out by that lap car. That was really unfortunate. It was his race to win. He had the best truck and he had really the best speed all night. He was hard to keep up with. I couldn't. I'm gonna be honest. We were a second place truck till that happened.
Well, John, still, despite all the attrition we face here tonight, bringing it home in the top spot. I believe this is your second win of the season. You made it back to back. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. Yeah, pretty good start to the segment here. Sitting P1 in points, especially after tonight. We're gonna get a bigger lead on second there. That'll help because I'll be out for Atlanta. I unfortunately will not be here for Atlanta. So hate that, but life goes on.
Well, there goes the attempt at the hat trick. But, John, congratulations, man. Second win of the season. First driver so far to make it 2 in a row. I know you're ecstatic, as well as the whole team. So you have the final privilege and distinction, my friend, of the final send-offs of the evening. Friends, family, sponsors, who do you want to give a shout-out to?
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to everybody over at ReaperSpeedLab.com. Boyd Hogan, Chris Hill, Randall Fox, Jared Crawford. They all build great pieces over there. Everybody go check them out. Go buy a setup from us. They do a great job over there and build really fast trucks and cars. I mean, anything you can think of. So, and then everybody once again at RTM, they loaned me those 2 tires. That's what won the race, and really all of it goes to them. They did a good job this week.
Well, John definitely earned it. A hard-fought finish, bringing home the number 9 relatively clean at the end of this thing. Thank you so much for your time. Congratulations on a hard-fought finish, and hope to see you when you get back in town to continue your dominant streak here.
Yeah, we should be back for Daytona, so that's gonna be an exciting race. Hopefully, I don't lose too many points and I can stay in the top 8. I don't see why I wouldn't, but no telling. This crazy point system, and I got to thank you and Jeff. Man, y'all do a great job putting this on. This is a pretty fun show. The trier strategy is unbelievable.
Well, awesome, John. Great time talking to my friend, and congratulations again on that win tonight.
Yeah, thank you, James. You have a good one.
You as well, sir. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was John Bilal bringing home the top spot after a long night of Phoenix. We saw a lot of big crashes, a lot of fantastic moves, and the first back-to-back winner of the season. As always, thank you all so much to our fans from across the world, the drivers that tuned in that maybe had to go back to the hauler a little bit early, but we couldn't do it without you guys, as well as thanks to FEGPC.net, our title sponsor. My name's James East with Team Goon Squad Broadcasting. Wish you all a happy and safe evening, and I will see you same time, same place next week. Have a great night, everyone.